Every culture on Earth has a vampire. In Romania, it's the Strigoi, the restless dead who rise from graves to drink blood. In the Philippines, it's the Aswang, a shape-shifting creature that feeds on fetuses. In China, the Jiangshi, a hopping corpse that drains the life force of the living. In India, the Vetala, a spirit that inhabits corpses and speaks from trees. The names change. The fear doesn't. The question is, why does every culture, separated by oceans and millennia, independently invent the same monster? The oldest known blood-drinking entity is Sumerian. Dating back over 4,000 years, the Lilitu, later known as Lilith in Hebrew tradition, was described in incantation texts as a flesh-eating, blood-sucking monster that preyed on babies and mothers. In Babylonian mythology, her companion Lamashtu was a lion-headed goddess who attacked newborns. These aren't folk tales. They're some of the oldest written records we have. The pattern repeats across every civilization. Ancient Greece had the Empusa, a creature that transformed into beautiful women to seduce and drain sleeping men. India had the Vetala, a spirit that inhabited corpses and spoke from banyan trees. Eastern Europe had the Strigoi, the dead who returned to torment the living. The names are different. The biology is identical, a creature that drinks blood, avoids sunlight, and can only be stopped by specific rituals. In 1985, the biochemist David Dolphin proposed that vampire myths were inspired by Porphyria, a rare genetic disorder that causes sensitivity to sunlight, reddish teeth, and receding gums that make teeth appear longer. The theory was compelling but controversial. Porphyria is extremely rare, and most sufferers don't resemble vampires. A more convincing explanation came in 1998 from the neurologist Juan Gómez-Alonso, who linked vampire myths to rabies. Rabies causes hypersexuality, aversion to light and water, biting behavior, and a tendency to wander at night, all classic vampire traits. The disease was widespread in Eastern Europe during the periods when vampire legends peaked. But the deepest explanation is psychological. The anthropologist Paul Barber, in his 1988 book Vampires, Burial, and Death, argued that vampire myths arose from a fundamental misunderstanding of decomposition. When a body decomposes, the skin shrinks, making hair and nails appear to grow. Gases bloat the abdomen, pushing blood to the surface, making the corpse look flushed. The mouth opens, revealing teeth. To pre-scientific eyes, the dead body looked like it was changing, transforming into something else. The vampire wasn't a supernatural creature. It was a corpse that hadn't decomposed properly. But why blood? Every culture treats blood as taboo, sacred in Christianity, forbidden in Islam, ritually pure in Hinduism. Blood is the boundary between life and death. It's visible inside the body but terrifying outside it. To drink blood is to cross that boundary, to consume another person's life force. This taboo isn't arbitrary. Evolutionary psychologists argue that blood avoidance is an adaptive response to disease. Blood carries pathogens. Cultures that developed strong taboos around blood exposure, avoiding contact with the dead, isolating the sick, ritually cleansing wounds, survived at higher rates. The vampire myth reinforced these taboos by giving them a face, a creature that feeds on the very substance we're wired to avoid. Vampire accusations also served a social function. During epidemics, especially plague, communities needed someone to blame. The dead were exhumed, staked, decapitated, or burned. This wasn't just superstition. It was community ritual. The vampire accusation gave people a way to process collective grief and fear. It transformed random death into meaningful death. The dead weren't taken by fate. They were taken by a monster that could be fought. And then there's the transformation itself. In 2020, the folklorist Sarah Bartlett at the University of Hertfordshire showed that vampire myths across cultures share a consistent narrative arc. A person dies, they return, they prey on the living, they're destroyed by a specific ritual. This arc isn't about vampires. It's about us. It's the story we tell ourselves to make death comprehensible. The vampire isn't the monster. Death is. The vampire is just the mask we put on it. So here's what we're left with. Every culture has a vampire because every culture fears death and blood. The vampire is humanity's oldest response to the two things we can't control, our own mortality and the fragility of the body. The Strigoi, the Aswang, the Jiangshi, the Vetala, they're all the same creature wearing different masks. A dead person who won't stay dead. A body that refuses to decompose. A hunger that can never be satisfied. The vampire is the ultimate outsider, someone who was once human but has crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. And that's why the myth persists. Not because vampires are real, but because the fears they embody are. Every culture needs a way to talk about death, about blood, about the boundary between the living and the dead. The vampire gives us that language. It names the fear. It gives the fear a face. And once the fear has a face, it can be confronted. The real question isn't why every culture has a vampire. It's what the vampire tells us about ourselves. We are a species that fears its own body. We fear the blood that keeps us alive. We fear the death that will take us. And we create monsters to hold those fears outside ourselves, so we can look at them and maybe understand them.